Fontana Dam Town Council meeting, December 21st, 2020. We're called to order at 5:40. Present Tiffany Duke, Jordan Hedrick, Zeller Rogers, Rob Hardy, John Hodgson, and Kevin Hensley from the paper. I guess this is our meeting before Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everyone out there in Facebook Internet land. Hopefully you're doing well, hopefully you're healthy, and hopefully it stays that way. As far as the agenda goes for today, if there's any changes or adjustments, entertaining motions for that.
Make a motion we approve the agenda, correct?
Thanks, Jordan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let's see, we don't have any minutes from the last go-round, it looks like. So, public comment, anything from you there, Kevin, since you're our public today?
No, I guess not. Just be looking in the Grand Star this week. It's going to be a good addition. Got the letters to Santa in there this week. So every kid that wants something in Graham County from 0 to 8 or 9's in there. So good stuff.
All right.
Just getting ready to put 2020 behind us as well on top of it.
Yeah,
So,
and this whole 2021 is going to be a little nicer to us.
It's got to be. There's nowhere to go but up.
Right.
Nowhere to go but up.
Are you, what are you doing New Year's Eve? You should come over and eat dinner with us. I mean, it's a little bit pricey, but still.
No, I might do that. I don't think I have any New Year's Eve plans. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'll make them
Keep
over.
that in mind.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
And don't forget it, like you forgot your Christmas gift.
I forgot my Christmas gift for the Chinese Christmas exchange.
You know, I'll let you have that one down for a while.
I can't believe I forgot it. Knowing me, I know I can forget it, but that's just. I'll enjoy watching you guys. I'll take pictures and I'll report on you guys.
Okay, yeah, we do actually need some pictures so I can put it on our website.
When the fights break out between people over the gifts, I'll
Yeah,
get shots of that. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get the good side.
Always.
All right, financial update those though.
Okay, we currently have $161,189.13 in the bank. So money's coming in as it's supposed to be. I haven't heard anything about revisiting with TBA. You know, it said after the first of the year. So
Yeah, I guess we'll, let's see, that, we have not submitted anything for December, so I guess when we submit for December, we'll just see if they say anything. Maybe
yeah, I'm not gonna bring it up. They can bring it up.
Yeah, we'll just keep rolling along status quo until they
Say something.
bring up
I
something.
know Saturday night, Albert Rose came up and ate, a bunch of people from Cherokee, and they were talking about their visit out here when they met with TBA, and he said that they were told, you know, that they would probably begin with those, or talking discussions or whatever, after the first year as well. So, you know, I think they just kind of put everything on hold until after the first. So we'll see what happens. But meanwhile, you know, having $161,000 in the bank versus $120,000 is, you know, makes me feel a little bit better about things.
Sure.
I mean, that's still not a lot of money for a town to operate on, but it is for us to operate on. So, you know, it gives us a little bit of security.
Yeah, at least until we can get through this next chapter.
Right.
And hopefully, you know, we'll be dealing with a long-term lessee who is amenable to supporting the town.
Right. We, you know, we haven't had to deal a whole lot with anything to do with the coronavirus, but we will be talking about that here later.
All right, any questions on the financials? Concerns? All right, well, we're gonna move on to the meeting time change that you got on here. We're gonna be shifting.
Yeah, John is like after the first of the year, aren't you needing to go back to Wednesday nights? And I'll let you explain, you talked to your professor, right?
Yeah, we will not need to change it
Again, so it should be Wednesdays for a while, if, if that works with everybody. And so I don't know if that means if you want to go, keep it at 5:30.
Would help me keep it
Yeah.
at 5:30.
5:30 is more for you, right?
Yeah, just so I can get here.
So I will, you need this in effect in January, at the January meeting? Okay, so I will get with you to make sure it's advertised, and, of course, I think, we need to make an action item on it, but,
You know the date?
January 20th, I believe. I think that's what she's got down at the bottom.
So fun fact, since you're moving it, my birthday's actually the 18th of January. So we were going to have a council meeting the night of my birthday, and now you guys are moving it. So thanks a lot, guys.
well, we might do something nice.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I might do that. We'll see.
Yeah, you say that.
If I can remember it for sure.
Yeah, right. How old are you gonna be?
32.
32?
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. Good job. So somebody wanna make a motion and,
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Entertaining motions to make the adjustment to the meeting.
Make a motion to make adjustment to the meeting time to Wednesdays.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John. All in favor? All right, moving to the water plant update.
all right, so we've had a significant problem that popped up. Dennis's wife, Mary, tested positive for COVID. And, yeah, so, now she's not showing any symptoms. She's not had a fever. She had like a sore throat and kind of a dry cough.
Is that what led to her going to get tested, I suppose?
I suppose so,
Mild
yes.
symptoms?
They did a quick test, an hour later they got it back. I'm not sure how I feel about those quick tests, sometimes I feel like they're too quick. But regardless, they've all been quarantined, her and Dennis and Danielle as well, because they've been around, who was around her in the last 48 hours. Now, with Dennis being our ORC and only having 2 water plant operators, that poses significant problems. I went out and talked to Tim. He's willing to cover some, but he's like, I gotta work 7 days a week, blah, blah, blah. But I got with Carrie. Carrie can work a bunch next week, but she can't work this week. I'm not sure how Tim is gonna, he would have to work from, let's see, he started on Saturday, so he's gonna have to go all the way through to, I think was Monday, it's either Sunday or Monday morning. He would have to come in and get it started, and then she could come in at 8:30. And then she could work all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday. And then she said either the 1st or the 3rd, there would have to be another, he'd come in and get started, and she'd come in at 8:30. But so he would have to work all this week, but he would have most of next week off.
Is he willing to work through Christmas though?
Well, he doesn't.
There by himself mostly, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't, but I don't, how Tim is. You know how
Well,
Tim is.
are you asking about for Dennis?
No, for Tim,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the
because-
problem is, I think, via the
Oh.
protocols with the county, is that
He
right?
has to stay.
No, Dennis can't come in. No, he's
He has
done.
to stay
He
quarantined.
Well,
is
Tip was saying
quarantined,
is he's
yeah.
normally by himself anyway, so
Well, as long
what's
as
the
he,
problem?
as long as he's 6 feet away, he technically could, as long as he doesn't come here.
Well, they told him, I said, can you still work Christmas Day to give Tim that day off? Because Tim, for some reason, was like, I don't wanna work 7 days, I can't work 7 days. But they told him he had to be quarantined. I said, well, you are quarantined, there is nobody down there.
That's true, there's nobody else.
Nobody down there.
Our definition,
So
like,
they
for
probably
me.
don't
But he said he's not allowed to leave his house.
No, that's not, well, to be considered my children had to stay away from me, just so I could be considered quarantined, only because I couldn't remain 6 feet apart from them. They could
Right.
stay in the same house as me as long as I was 6 feet apart, and I would still be considered quarantined. So as long as you're 6 feet apart, you are still.
But you're in your
considered
house, he's leaving the house and going down to the
As long
water
as he's
plant.
not coming in contact with anyone.
Well,
But,
he
I
wouldn't
mean,
be, but
And so the definition of quarantine, I think, is
the question,
subject to debate there. Is quarantine mean in your house away from everyone.
So he's
Or is
waiting
it
on
just away
letters,
from
should I mean, I could call the health department, I suppose, and
Yeah.
talk to them maybe tomorrow,
Yeah.
would you like for me to do that and
Yeah,
see?
just
Because,
clarify
I mean,
with
if I tell them, okay, his wife is tested positive, he is still
it's a
negative,
contact trace.
but,
quarantine.
you know, in the process, he is our ORC operator, nobody down there, and see
It
what they
definitely
have to
has to be
say.
sanitized before someone else came in.
Sure.
Right, and that's what I told him.
Like everything would need to be sprayed down.
During a shift change or
And
anything like
Just
that,
like we
yeah.
sanitize when children touch
Well,
surfaces.
and what would that duration be? Would that be
If you have proper
8 to 10
sanitation,
hours?
it can be cleaned and ready to go within 30 seconds.
Okay.
Like if you have proper, we spray down tables.
And you're talking about like
it.
Clorox type stuff,
Yeah,
right?
they can tell you, like, the health department can tell you what solution they use.
So is it the health department in Swain County that's dictating what you
Well,
have
every
to do?
county, yeah, like each
So
county.
we've gotta consult with ours and just find out on a contact trace quarantine, you know, what are the provisions, what's the duration? If he goes and gets tested,
He's going tomorrow to get tested.
and he I've heard what, 2 tests I've heard was a potential for
It could,
getting you out of contact tracing?
it could be up to what, 10 to 14 days before he even he
Yeah.
shows up positive. So it could, you know, I mean, if he's around her,
Yeah.
likely, because it's.
Well, and the other
something-
question
Well, I don't know, because Tabitha and Alex, neither, nor their small child, Kellen, neither one of them, is that Keller? Keller, right? Or none of them got it with the twins both having it.
Well, and here's the other question. Is he quarantining right now with her? So the likelihood of him being exposed and tested.
Well, I mean, but it's the same thing with Alex and Tabitha and her, they were the same
Well, it's
way.
24 days then for him. Because according, like, my children were positive, I was negative. So in order for me to only have 10 or 14 days of quarantine, I had to be away from them during their 10-day sickness period. So once you test positive, from your day one of your symptoms, it's 10 days. You're
See, and
required
I
to
don't know that
quarantine.
he's able to do that,
But then
because he's
then
probably
his
gonna have,
14 days does not begin until her 10th day is over.
right.
So he doesn't do
Unless he goes
14.
ahead and tests positive.
Yes, he doesn't do
Then
14.
it'll-
He does 24 days.
So we're almost pulling for him to get it. No, I'm just playing.
Well, that's the way it was with Alex and Tabitha, that's what they were saying now.
24 days.
They would, but, so is that, but I get that from the time that she is well, right?
From her 10th day, when she's released from quarantine, his 14 days will start.
Okay, so if he's test negative still tomorrow,
Still the same.
he's still under quarantine though. But does quarantine mean that he can't go work in a
As long as
plant where
not
he's the only
around-
person
As
there?
long as he's not around.
And then he takes Clorox and sprays himself
Yeah,
out the
it
door.
doesn't feel bad. Yeah.
Well, and it will.
Raise himself
So
out the
maybe,
door.
maybe find out, maybe, we'll talk.
You know
to-
what I meant.
We'll talk to, is it Kim? Kim?
No,
Beth Booth.
Beth, yeah,
Yeah.
Beth.
I mean, he'll have to sanitize, and then I would recommend whoever
Tim
goes in
or-
to sanitize and allow it to, you know, sit for however long they say before he starts touching things. I mean, I
But
would,
if he.
Well, if he sanitizes it going out at night,
yeah, and then.
then I'll do, when they come back in the
It should
evening.
be, but just for
Yeah,
extra
but then
precaution.
but when they come back in the next day and they spray,
Yeah, if you
there
did a
should
double
be.
sanitize.
I mean, the only thing he's gonna have to spray probably, you know, is the keyboard,
Yeah.
you know, and
Any
the
switches.
seat and the desk, basically.
Since
Well,
he's-
I guess whatever chemical, you know, I don't know, stuff that they all touch
Anything
and they
he
will know,
touches,
yeah. On another note though, Dennis called the state and told them what was going on. So, which, could have posed some issues, but they sent a list of people that were willing to contract and people that were like looking for work. And one woman, or no, this one guy over in Andrews actually is supposedly looking for work. And then there are a couple of contract workers in Silva that maybe, you know, and talking with Meredith, we could maybe like put them up for a couple of days, you know, and help out with stuff like that, which might be, it would be good to have a contact anyway. So
Well,
I
he could get, I mean, you know.
I feel like first I'm gonna reach out to the guy in Andrews and talk to him.
Yeah, proximity's probably a little.
You know, and see if he's, I mean, but he's not just for contract, he's looking for a job,
Full-time.
apparently. You know, so, I mean,
You come over here and you work on a part-time basis, we get to kind of see,
right, we need a third person, we've got to have a third
well,
person.
especially we were looking to possibly roll off with Carrie,
Right,
you know, because
Cause she's just having such a hard time. She has, had many people out sick over there, and then she's also, you know, Christmas and everything, she's got family and stuff and little kids and, not little kids, but still, you know, a husband and all of this stuff. Tim, meanwhile, doesn't, you know, not that I mean, I live by myself too, even though I'm going to my son's house, but still, it would not be as hard for him. The main thing is getting through this next week, not this week coming up, or this week that we're in, but the following week, right? Is that
Well,
right?
like-
No,
No,
it's this week, it's this week,
Was
yes,
there
Yeah.
because he's been working since Saturday.
maybe some sort of holiday pay, like to entice them to work Christmas Day? Like, I don't.
Typically, I think you would get double time, right?
Yeah, because some
supposed
people-
to.
You know, people that choose to work on a holiday day, you know.
Well, normally, see, what happens is that they get another day off really close to that time frame
Oh,
to make up for working
Maybe we
a
might
day.
could offer him some.
Yeah, well-
Well, but see, I don't think though that it's the fact that it's Christmas Day so much as he just doesn't, I can't work 7 days, that's why his
Well,
comment
maybe
was.
the money would help.
Maybe, I don't know, Tim is a very different kind of character, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow, Carrie was gonna let me know for sure the schedule, after she talks to,
So I'm
one of her
sure
guys over
She
there.
won't wanna work Christmas Day, I mean.
Well, she can't work Christmas Day. I mean, that's, the reason I'm waiting even to talk to him until tomorrow is because she was talking about getting her schedule lined up for the following week.
Yeah.
So if she's saying she can work 4 of the 7 days, then if he works all these, plus he'll get overtime for all that, you know, and then she'll work and he'll have like 4 or 5 days off in a row. So that could kind of help make up for it. Plus, on one of those, he could get a holiday pay on that because one of those could be Christmas for him. So,
Also, you might want to ask her if she has any knowledge or opinion about those available candidates.
well, I will, I don't know that she's actually, you know,
She kind of rolls in those circles, so.
right,
she may
yeah.
have-
But I doubt if she will, but I will ask her about it, because I know I've asked her before about, do you know of any people looking for work? And it's, no, I don't. You know, I mean, this is, apparently there is a list at the state level. They told me to also advertise on the listserv, but there's not a whole lot of people that go through the listserv. And, you know, it would be, we're so isolated out here, if we can't provide housing, it's gotta be somebody local. So we either need to do one or two things. If we can get through this, that's good, but we need to find somebody that's willing to come in and start training. I think Meredith definitely sees the need for it. You know, it takes at least 6 months to get trained, you know.
Now, what would the funding look like for that?
Well, they just have to be paid an hourly wage.
I mean, would the resort be paying for it, or would we be
That would
paying
be-
for it out of our water plant funds?
Well, I mean, it would still probably,
Water funds.
you know, circle back around to TVA one way or the other, or, you know, to the people that pay the bills, but I'm not sure. That's a future discussion that we'd have to have. I mean, the way this is set up is that we contract through the resort for the water plant operators.
Unless one of these available candidates were to pan out.
Right, but they would still be contracted through the resort as an operator for the water plant.
Right, well, I'm just saying, as far as the need for a trainee, you know,
Right.
versus.
Right, versus having someone
If
that's
you
already
find somebody
certified.
with a certification, maybe they've got a base certification, and maybe you could then get them to go for a higher, an ORC certification.
Or at least wastewater. or
And you
different
haven't
things.
had any more conversation with Dennis regarding some of those
No.
previous conversations we had?
No. So, I mean, I think the main thing is that, getting through this next couple of weeks and then, putting a plan in place moving forward. And if we could get another person, that would be great, that was trained, but if not, and like I said, it's gotta be somebody local, so anybody that, I mean, John, would you be interested in learning how to operate a water plant? You'd be perfect at it. You would be.
What would be the commitment?
Well, I mean, it would be a while, you know, cause it takes 6 months to get certified in it, you know, and
Well, that'd be
then,
school.
Yeah,
and
would I be able to do that with school?
yeah, you can do that
You
still
do
in school,
online.
because you can do it at your own, you can go in, you know, when anybody's working and get
Sorry.
hours in,
Going
So-
to Dennis?
huh?
Going to Dennis?
or with Tim, either one, it doesn't matter. I mean, just as long as you build up your hours in water,
Yeah.
you know, and then, at the end of that, cause you gotta learn all the formulas and stuff.
How many hours is it?
I'm gonna have to talk to rural water and find out if it's 6 months regardless, or if it's hours in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, like if you need, let's say, just a random number, if you need 40 hours, of course you're gonna need more now, you know, and, you need to get it within 6 months' time. Or if it's saying you absolutely, no matter how many hours you get, you still have to have 6 hours, or 6 months. I'm not sure which way that
Yeah, I'm not
goes.
necessarily against it, but I'm definitely already going in a certain direction.
Right.
With the garden, and Tabitha wants me to work with banquets a lot next year, and also with school, so if I could
So
also.
that's probably gonna be a little bit too much for you.
Partly, yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not against it per se.
Well, the thing of it is, that with that training and certification, you can go anywhere and get a job.
Yeah.
Cause right now, I guarantee you that there's at least five a day that come through seeking operators for water plants across the state.
Mhm.
You
My,
know,
my
so-
question, or my thought process would be, when you chat with Carrie, maybe ask her if she has any opinion about the folks. And, you know, we might even get her involved if we're looking to bring one of those guys on.
Right.
Or girls,
To
I'm not
help,
sure.
yeah.
We might get her to kind of assist in the interview process because she has as much knowledge.
Or more,
Oh,
way more
yeah,
than what we got.
Right, so I mean, I think getting her expert opinion would be imperative.
All right.
If we're gonna look to bring somebody else on board, maybe to take her sort of place initially and
Mhm.
potentially more so.
Yeah, maybe before she leaves. She would probably be a good teacher, wouldn't she?
Well, yeah, she would be, but I mean, I don't think she's gonna be over here enough to do a whole lot of teaching. Cause she is pretty much already gone, just because, a lot of it's because COVID cases over there, you know.
But not on the training aspect. I mean,
Yeah, but just
you're
like what
saying
she
that,
knows,
you
yeah.
know, I mean, while she's here, getting her to, you know, the protocols
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
procedures and everything that sometimes can be a little up in the air as far as, you know, sometimes you think you've got protocols established, but you
Well, and
discover
it could
that you
honestly,
don't.
also, it could be that we could send him to work with her in Robbinsville
That too.
for training.
That would even probably be better,
Yeah.
for a while.
Assuming that that plan is very, very similar.
It is, because if you remember that we had, Eddie Brooms come over here and just walk in the door and start doing it, and he's an employee in Robbinsville. Water
But they
plants
have
are
to be
all-
aware of some of the idiosyncrasies of our system as far as
Right.
filling that intermediate tank.
Well, I mean, but I think that, you know, it was easy enough just to tell him, you
Sure.
know, cause I mean, water plants are very similar. The biggest difference is the sizes and what they're certified to do,
Right.
you know, so I think anybody that would have a sea surface especially in these packaged water plants like ours is, would be able to operate anywhere.
Well, let's see if we can use this as an opportunity to explore some other candidates, and we'll sort of shift on the fly based on.
And
that
see,
information.
I mean, the thing of it is, if, you know, if getting through this week is the big thing. What if Tim said, just books and says, I'm not gonna do it?
Well, do we have to hit,
Well, that's not an option.
do we have to hit, who is our backup ORC?
At the water plant, we don't really have to have one at the water plant, a backup ORC,
thought we did.
wastewater, but that is, Lamar, but that's wastewater.
So he doesn't have water.
Uh,
So we have no backup water aside from Tim and Carrie? We have nobody else that's kind of slated just in case?
nope.
I definitely gotta get somebody.
Well, we'd have to potentially get a contractor to come in here on short notice, and that's,
That could be very expensive.
Just with our fear that it might just not happen.
But I
we've
can,
been fortunate it hasn't.
I mean, you know, the thing I wanna tell him is, it's like either work it or we can all go to the house and then you not want a job at all. I mean, you know, because that would be the thing,
Well,
which then,
and I wonder if TVA could send in someone, if they know someone.
well, but see, they're all out of Tennessee, so they're not gonna have a North Carolina
Well,
licensed person.
And the other question here, you know, is what are we operating at as far as our, you know, our usages have gone down dramatically.
Well, the biggest issue is the intermediate tank. That's what's killing us right now,
And
because
I
it's
think we
leaking
need
in.
to use that and say, if we had that leak fixed, we could
Well,
potentially.
I've got the pump, I've got a pump ordered, I ordered a pump. And, it cost about, what was it, about $1,500? This is a big.
Like a portable sump pump or something.
Yeah, but
like
it's
that.
garbage pump, you know, is what it's called. So as soon as it gets here, you know, they
They're
can
gonna
dry
put it
that
inside.
hole out and start working on it.
Right. But I mean, as far as, I guess, you know, ultimately, if we had that tank filled up and it wasn't, you know, it could sit there for 36 hours without dropping, you know, how long do we have on the tank up there right now before?
If you take the intermediate tank out of the equation, we can't go no more than probably max before we get to the point of having to put either a loss of pressure or boil water advisory out. We probably can't go no more than 18 hours, maybe. Maybe. That might be pushing it.
I still don't understand what the heck's going on. I mean, so we're running and running and running. We don't have nearly the usage.
With the pool,
And,
I think
yeah, I
there might be
mean-
a little bit.
Well,
of-
there's still water going into the pool up there, not a whole lot of sun at the lodge. And that's gonna go all winter apparently.
Oh, we're not raining that?
I don't think so,
They don't keep it warm?
no.
Polar plunge time,
But they're not, yeah.
that's what they got it filled up.
So
They're
they-
keeping it treated and clean.
Why don't they wanna,
You know, why don't they drain it?
I don't,
I can't remember what her rationale is on that. There was something she told me, there was a reason. But I can't remember now what it was.
ultimately, we're kind of in this decision best because of that decision making. So,
If we could do polar plunge in the lake.
if you wanna change your decision.
But even if we had that pool off, that's not gonna make enough of a difference to prevent us from having somebody come in here. I mean, we just have to be
If we could afford to go one day without it, though,
Well,
I
why,
was
know.
gonna
could
say.
he not pump late Christmas Eve, he could take Christmas Day off, and he would have to be back the day after?
Well, but we
That's kinda
can't,
what I was
okay, but we
wondering.
can't with the intermediate tank, because when they leave in the afternoon and evening, and come back in by the next morning, it's down under half, because there's only a 20,000 gallon tank for real. And
So you're saying
that
we
leak,
can't let the intermediate tank go dry?
no, God, you can't do that, no, we'd have to, the state would be on us with that, because contaminants, you know, you can't let any water tank go dry without putting out a boil water advisory, enacting all kinds of,
Okay,
stuff that has to go.
We're
along with
basically
that.
hemmed in from a whole lot of
Oh,
sides.
yeah.
And
Oh,
one of
my
these
sides.
days, we gotta try to knock
Well,
some of
that's
these
why
sides
we're
down.
gonna have to get
We're
somebody
gonna have some
trained or
conversation.
somebody hired that is trained, that's bottom line.
Just hopefully he agrees.
Yeah, yeah, and if you don't, then I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to come over here, you know? And if somebody can come over here, and if he's not willing to put in the effort to help out here, Tim might not be working too many hours anymore. He might be the, you know, somebody's gonna come in on this short notice,
Yeah.
Tim might become the part-time worker,
Yep.
you know?
Lot of options at this point. We're just gonna have to try to define our options this week and see what Tim's willing to do and go from there, I guess, you know.
Right, he did not seem too enthused today, I can promise you that. But then again, he never is. Why don't you go with me tomorrow down there to talk to him?
Might not be a bad idea.
With
To
regard to
talk
trying
with
to
him,
convince
yeah.
him.
To talk, and just to see if he'll work this week. I mean, because there's a lot of men that reply or respond better. I don't know if Tim's one
I'll
of them.
think about that. I don't know.
Because if he says no, then we're in trouble,
Right.
you know?
And you have more authoritative behind you, authority, not more authority, I guess necessarily, but you have a more authoritative voice in regards to that, in saying, well, you know, kind of like what Jeff was that day. I hesitate to do that to people for whatever reason.
And I don't really like doing that myself, but
Maybe you should just go back with first, like, please, we really need you. Like, you know, not so much like you have to
carrot
do
or
this,
stick.
but please, can you help us?
Yeah, I guess not, you know, you could take that approach, you know, more sympathetic.
Well, I mean, I was kind of like that today, Tim.
And that
We
didn't
really-
go?
Yeah, we
And you
really,
got that part.
yeah, I mean, he
If
was
you're
like,
not going
well, I mean,
somewhere,
there's the possibility that one of these folks could be available. So I mean, you have that conversation. He's sitting adamant he doesn't want to do it. I don't know that I'm going to talk him into doing it. I mean, you know, I guess it's the monetary aspect, if he just doesn't respond to it, I don't know that there's any carrot that he will respond to at that point. Willow, stop.
It's not to go, it's dark.
I'm scared.
So I guess the plan of action, we'll have a conversation with Tim, but we'll also talk with some other guys. I guess before.
Well, I need to have a
talk with Carrie
conversation,
first.
yeah, well, she's gonna let me know something
Carrie.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then about the schedule, and
Yeah.
that's why I didn't talk to him today. After that, though, that conversation needs to be had with him, because that's Tuesday, Thursday's the day after Wednesday, so, you know, and that's Christmas Day as well, so. I'm gonna call the health department first, because if the health department says, well, as long as there's nobody down there, and there's no danger, cause he can keep that door locked, Tim keeps it locked, I had to pound like crazy on there to get into it.
Yeah.
You know, as long as there's no danger of anybody coming in, and you can stay in absolute quarantine.
And we're just dealing with a contact trace here, we're not really,
Yeah, we don't
we're not
know.
dealing with a positive
Yeah.
test. So
At
I would
least at
think
the
the
moment.
rules would be different for that, but that's trying to apply logic to a situation we don't fully understand, I don't think.
Right, even though I don't know what the difference would be with him being down there as versus being home.
I'd say that's fine. It's
Yeah,
the same thing.
it would be the same thing. I don't know.
That's logic talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
health
people aren't really
department might,
acting,
health department might be,
There
yeah.
are some,
More emotionally.
I'll call the health department first thing, and talk to Carrie, and then I guess I'll call you and see if you're willing to go with me to God's gym if the need arises. If they say at the health department, well, as long as he can for sure do that, you know, but then,
But I mean,
of course,
you still
Dennis
can't
is
afford-
probably gonna raise the thing about, well, I've got to take care of Mary.
Yeah, and you can't, I mean, with that being the case, you couldn't,
not far.
I mean, he has the right to quarantine at home. I mean,
Right.
you know, I mean,
That.
But you know, that's bringing up it's starting to bring up those same questions and conversations that we were having before, you know. I think there's a need for care whether or not there's COVID or not.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's this, you know, so to me, yes, it short term, but I think long term, we've got some names. If Carrie can give us any feedback on which one of those names might be more to our liking than others, that would be great. And maybe we start looking at calling a third person in, at least on a short term basis, and then we evaluate if there's a spot for them, on the starting rotation or not.
Right, and where we could go from there.
Yeah.
All right. So this voting delegate for the league, this thing is, it's about the policy goals, and, they have a bunch of them right here. But what we need to do, is that we have got to review, no, I'm sorry. Let's see. You have to designate a single voting delegate who will cast the municipality's vote by January 14th. So if we have not yet designated that person, so we have to do it using this form. And then which I can do, but then the voting instructions and the ballot will be sent directly to the voting delegate. Now, always in the past with the league, it's always been the mayor. Sarah was before, and I think you and Sarah was at one time, right? When we went down that day to the town hall. Seems like, did you go to town hall with us?
Which time? Oh,
Down at, in Raleigh?
no.
You sure there was a bunch of us that went? Have you not gone to Raleigh with
I've
us?
never been on a road trip for Raleigh.
Okay, so it was just Asheville while you went, so it seemed like, I thought there was a time when.
Town Hall at Franklin for a meeting.
Yeah, and I don't think I was
But
there.
I mean, but we have, I guess because our leadership was in absentia for the last couple of years, they
Well,
didn't
yeah.
get us for this.
Well, every year you're supposed to vote somebody in to carry this,
But I don't
all
think
of the
we've
policy
actually-
goals that they have.
done that?
Huh?
Have we done that in the past?
Well, we did, yeah, but we haven't in the last couple of years, but we haven't because of,
I don't
the fact
remember
that.
even voting on anything with regard to the.
You take that over and have a coffee.
Quite no, I don't know anything about this, so,
Alright.
I mean, I
Well,
guess.
looks like you're doing it.
I was gonna say, I guess if you're gonna designate somebody, it should probably be.
So they're just gonna
Yeah.
mail you the thing to vote, in other words,
I suppose so, and I guess we'll
talk about it.
talk about it, and then we'll decide how we're gonna vote, and how, you know, in that manner.
For whatever we're voting for.
I was about to say, what do you vote on exactly? What is this league? This is like,
It's the League of Municipalities.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
gotcha.
it's
And like justice.
I mean,
league.
basically, Rob's gonna be the best candidate, because he's the mayor, and that's usually what takes it over. We just have to vote it in,
sure.
and then if you're willing to do it.
Sure.
And then these are the goals. So you take those, familiarize yourself with them. Because,
There'll be a pop quiz
Do
next
we
week.
need a motion?
yeah, we do need a motion to
You
make
want it
it.
now?
Yeah, might as well.
I make a motion, we approve Rob for the voting delegate for the league.
Thanks, Jordan. All in favor?
So I'm gonna sign you up and I'll give them your email, and then from there, you're gonna have to be looking for information from them on what to vote on them.
Surely will come in the form of a some kind of, surely there'll be like a list of choice, something for him to know.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these type of things, they don't really apply to our unique situation out here.
Yeah.
I mean, we should almost offer some courses and, things on how to, deal with all these unique things we've had to deal with when you're working so closely with federal
Right.
agencies and, a one horse town, basically,
Yes,
a one business town.
yeah, it makes a big difference.
All right, so, that's that. Any other discussion items that we need to talk about? John?
Go ahead.
Good. Joe?
I know how to put it on there.
All right, let's see, no other action items then. Personnel hiring, any concerns, questions there? I mean, we've.
Not at this point,
Yeah.
I have not had, one other thing, I have not had a chance to talk to Katie yet.
Oh.
I asked her to come by the town hall one day, that I wanted to talk to her. And then I reassured her it was nothing bad, because I think she thought, no, it's nothing bad at all. I'm coming to pay the water bill, I swear.
It's like being summoned to the principal's office or something.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, no, it's nothing like that. Just-
Yeah.
So, hopefully she'll come down here soon. If not, I'll try to call her again.
How's your relationship with her, John?
She's cool.
I know you're neighbors.
Yeah, we don't really, I like say hi to her, like, hey, neighbor.
Okay, it's not like y'all have conversate from time to time about anything.
Sometimes, yes, every once in a while, but yeah, she's good. She is a responsible woman.
You might
Yeah.
just, if it comes up kind of in casual conversation, you might just say.
I can ask her,
What do you think about this? Would you be interested in coming to a meeting, checking it out, seeing what we do?
Yeah, I think
before you
she'd be good
sign
fit.
Yeah, I think she would.
And I think she's planning on staying here, as her residence too, for a while.
You know who we're talking about, right? The girl that works down at Fit Stop. Yeah, it's next month. Nick, who works in the kitchen. Yeah, they're neighbors. They're on the other side of the unit from John.
Yeah, she's,
The lady that she used to be in here whenever we would come in and hang out
Yeah.
with Bo, and Willow would go. kinda
yeah,
hang
she
out
did
with her.
live here.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
early here.
Yeah.
She's quiet, she's nice, and then, she seems like she's got a pretty good head on her shoulders, so.
If not, maybe Allie. Allie's a very nice lady. She's younger, but that's,
But she's a responsible.
yeah, she's a responsible individual. She's,
How old is she?
she's 18.
I don't know if is there a,
I mean,
I don't
that's
know. Do you
adult,
know,
though,
Kevin,
18,
do you know?
I don't know of an age limit, or an age minimum, I should say.
I would think 18 is
Yeah.
probably a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she's gonna be here like a year from now, but I mean, she's,
Really, no one knows where they're gonna be in a year.
yeah, that's
You know.
true.
That's
I
I mean,
very
the
true.
thing of it is that she would have to put her residence over here.
Yeah, but she wants to get her own cabin, and that is something that she's probably gonna get soon. I approved that from what she told me.
So that's
She
youngest daughter?
Yeah, she wants to get her own place, she likes working here, so I think she might be here.
Yeah, she's-
She's responsible, I mean, shows up for work.
Yeah.
Right,
Job,
yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
I would approve of that too.
Yeah.
Well, I think our primary pressing issues are solving this immediate water plant staffing need, and then kind of looking at some options going into the first of the year, so.
Almost 6:20.
Oh, we need to adjourn and get up top.
They're probably like,
Yeah.
where are we at?
Road
All right.
and all of them would be coming up and wondering where we're at.
All right, so we're gonna adjourn here, if we don't have anything else, at 6:20.